Have you ever wondered why certain stories just stick with you, while others fade away as soon as you close the book? Well, you're not alone. It's all about the elements of literature: plot, setting, characterization, conflict, themes, climax, and resolution. Understanding these elements can help turn a good story into a great one. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the world of South African literature and dissect these elements one by one. First up, the plot. The plot is the sequence of events that make up a story. It's like the skeleton that holds the story together. Take, for example, the novel Cry the Beloved Country by Alan Paton. The plot follows the journey of a Zulu pastor, Stephen Khumalo, as he searches for his son in Johannesburg. This series of events is what we refer to as the plot. Next, we have the setting. The setting is where and when a story takes place. In Cry the Beloved Country, the setting is the city of Johannesburg in the late 1940s. It's this backdrop that shapes the characters and their actions. Speaking of characters, characterization is the process by which the author reveals the personality of a character. This can be done directly, through what the character says or does, or indirectly, through the reactions of other characters. The character of Stephen Khumalo in Cry the Beloved Country is characterized as a humble and kind-hearted man, struggling with the harsh realities of urban life. The next element is conflict. Conflict is the struggle between opposing forces that forms the basis of a story. In Cry the Beloved Country, the conflict is both internal, as Stephen wrestles with his faith and the loss of his son, and external, as he faces the harsh realities of apartheid. Moving on to themes. Themes are the underlying messages or big ideas of a story. In Cry the Beloved Country, themes of racial inequality, social justice, and the power of faith run throughout the story. Then we have the climax. The climax is the most intense point in the story, the moment when the conflict reaches its peak. In Cry the Beloved Country, the climax comes when Stephen finds his son Absalom in prison, accused of murder. Finally, the resolution. This is where all the loose ends of the plot are tied up, and the story concludes. In Cry the Beloved Country, the resolution comes when Stephen returns to his village, having found a new sense of hope in the midst of despair. So there you have it, the key elements of literature using a South African classic as an example. By understanding these elements, you can start to see why some stories resonate with us, while others simply don't. So next time you pick up a book, take a moment to think about the plot, setting, characterization, conflict, themes, climax, and resolution. It might just change the way you read.